eating more apple pie.
Let's get ready to podcast. Wow, that was horrible. Hi, everybody. I'm Dolly Demowski. You're joining me and some wonderful, wonderful people on Le Quest des Side, the Side Quest.
The number 3 video game podcast.
The number 3
SideQuesting.com.
video game podcast on SideQuesting.com. I think that's it. We've made it, guys. We did it. I'm Dolly Demowski. Joining me, as usual, is Aaron Scrattybones Kelly.
Hey.
Twitch affiliate Aaron Scrattybones Kelly.
Twitch affiliate. Still have not streamed.
You'll get there, man. You'll get there. I have full faith that you'll make it to that point. And also, you guys ready? Rexley. Is it Peña, Florida?
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
I have a little bit, how you say, Eastern European in me. Actually, I'm 100% Eastern European, so that's why
I was just saying.
I can do the words and the letters.
I always see you fall into that Macedonian pride.
You got it, baby.
As the only
Twitch-
fully white guy on the podcast, I would not have pronounced that correctly.
It's all good.
You're Canadian, so that's like you're maple. Is that normal? Is that one way to pronounce it? Okay.
I smell and taste like maple.
You smell and taste.
It's not Aaron Kelly. It's Aaron Kelly. That little.
Well, gents, how are you? It's fantastic to have you both on the show tonight. We're gonna have a good time. I think a real good time. We're gonna talk games.
Always.
We may have a couple more folks hopping in, but we'll see to talk more games. But we'll see. It's a kind of a crazy scheduling night. Our flight was stopped at the Colorado-Mexico border earlier, so I think we're actually back in. we're on the warpath here. I'm drinking coffee, by the way. If we're talking about what we're drinking or eating, in my Audi TT cup, which I got from my Audi dealership about 20 years ago. Rexy, what do you got?
Water.
Hey, all right. That's good.
I should have. There's like 4 bottles of Spotted Cow upstairs, and I should have gotten that before we started.
Nice. I got a bunch of bottles because we're still in the moving process, and it's taking fucking forever. But we're still in the moving in process, and I actually do have like bottles in wrapping over here, but I'm staring at I'm pointing to something over there. If I point right here, then I'm pointing to Aaron. But I'm staring at a bunch of liquor bottles that have not been touched since I brought them into the house, because it's been the last thing on my list. So, but I'm gonna make it the first thing on my list. Damn it! Next time.
Does that collection include Malort?
No.
Ooh, have you tried Malort?
No. But I'm gonna have to. Aaron, you're not drinking Fireball, you said, and instead you're eating apple pies like by the dozen.
Yeah. A tap room opened in my village today, and I happened to see it, like their announcement on like Facebook. So I said I should go there, and I was intending to just walk in and buy a bottle and bring it to the show. And I ran into a friend there, who had shown up seconds before I did, apparently. So we got a couple of drinks and sat down at a table, and then we got a couple of more drinks and continued sitting at the table. And then a third friend showed up, and we got a couple of more drinks.
Okay. Things are starting off good. I like where this is going.
So I stumbled out after drink 3 of 20-ounce glasses, so 60 ounces of very 8% alcohol beer. But it was very tasty, and I stumbled out around 8:30, and I've spent the last hour and a half eating an entire apple pie in an effort to sober up a little bit.
That is, I've never heard of that remedy before.
Because of the crust, right?
The crust.
It's all bread.
It's got to work, right?
But I'm just worried that if I touch the Fireball, I'm just going to be absolutely shit faced. So I'm avoiding it.
It'll make
for self-control.
Exactly. It'll make for a great podcast, though, if you do.
I mean, it's right here. It's
Oh no! Oh,
Is
it's
it?
it's
How
right
does it?
here.
How does it smell? I mean, is this Fireball smell?
Fireball? What does it smell like? You know what? I don't think I've ever smelled Fireball before.
just driving you closer, closer.
Smells like
It's got
cinnamon.
it's got a cinnamon taste, is what you're saying. It tastes like cinnamon.
Yeah, I could probably give
Have
it.
you ever
I
put
could probably
cinnamon on top
confirm.
of an apple pie? I think there's like a really great combination to put cinnamon. Okay,
Funnily
stop.
enough, this is a cinnone apple pie.
Oh,
There you go.
so what could you pair that with? Just kidding.
Probably more cinnamon.
Well, good. I'm glad you've been eating the profits of the apple pie world. Yeah, I always knew you were an Apple fanboy. I didn't know it was apple pie, but it's close.
Android phone and apple pie.
Android phone. That's the great Canadian. He's still chomping down. I love it. He's eating that crust. The great Canadian combination. Well, until other people join in, which we don't know who that will be, but I know who that might be. But we haven't gotten confirmation. Zach and Dan. Dan actually has a good excuse. I'm calling him out.
Dan has a real excuse. Where the fuck is that?
Excuse.
Where's Sam and Tom?
I don't know where Sam is. Is Sam trying to get billboards working again or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know what Sam does. I don't know what Sam does at all on a day-to-day basis. I pretend I understand when he talks about it. I don't know.
And then Tom is Tom, as we know. Tom will kind of appear out of the ghostly darkness of the evening and then disappear in the morning light. But let's talk about what we've been playing. And since we have Rexley here, and it's been ages since we've had you. It's been a couple since we've had you on. Let's chat. It's been since summer at least, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked, I had horrible internet. So now I have pretty solid. In fact, I'm hosting again, which means I have pretty solid internet.
There you go. I mean, you look good. The quality looks fantastic.
Thank you. That's not the internet. It's a filter I'm using. A snap. Yeah. Snapchat, YouTube filter. What are your exactly? What have you been playing?
So it's been back to like my two. There's been this whole thing that's been going on for years of like people having their forever games now, that like the stuff that takes up most of their time, and I unfortunately am in two of those. The first one, the more obvious one of the two, is Final Fantasy XIV. I took actually a little bit of a break for like a month or so. Yeah. See, you know what I'm talking about. I took a little bit of a break because when the new Shadowbringers expansion came out, I did that. Got to 80. Got like the post story content and armor, all that stuff. And then I was kind of like, oh.
Did you see the new mount?
I did see the new mount. The new mounts look great. But then I was kind of like, I don't know, like there wasn't really a lot for me there anymore. Like I had a tank class, I had a DPS class, but it wasn't there. So I was kind of feeling bored about it. So I took a break for a bit and coming back now. I actually, my guild FC free company group hates me for it because the way I got myself back into it was like making a new character, and they're like, why are you making a new character? Like, why don't you just play with your old one? And to be fair, I have not deleted my old one. It's still there, but I just like, let's just play the new character again, just go through it all.
Did you make a rabbit?
I did make a rabbit. Viera, for those who don't know the rabbit race in Final Fantasy. Who, like, I think they still have an issue with that, actually, where, like, the headgear, any headgear you put on a Viera is screwed up for some reason, but it's totally fine because, like, I like seeing the huge ears. And there's actually one of the NPCs you meet early on in the Shadowbringers expansion. Like, she looks fantastic.
Which Final Fantasy was it? Tactics that the Viera were first in, or Tactics?
Final Fantasy 12.
Okay.
Was Fran. She was like
that's right. Okay.
The ranged person. Yeah. I actually still play that once in a while because I like the voice actress for that. Like,
I picked it up for
with the Icelandic accent.
Yeah, but it's like there's like when she says like when it goes to the S's, it's kind of like a kind of thing.
It's like a sh.
Yeah, she's like the mished, and I'm like, oh.
You don't.
I don't know, like. She like it's like a weird like accent / like the way she enunciates things that I think it's fantastic. So
It's
aside
fantastic.
from it's for oh okay, all right,
You're welcome. Save
all
that
right.
one for later, Final Fantasy fans.
Yeah. The other forever game I'm playing is Destiny 2. So I got back on that train with Shadow keep launching, and thankfully I'm part of a clan that's like they're very active, they're very supportive. They they want to help people out. Some of them like tried the raid that came out a couple weeks ago and got the. They actually got some of them actually got the jacket, which is really insane.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't actually like. I've seen the jackets before, but like I always thought like, oh yeah, if you finish the raid in X amount of time, like I know you get to purchase it, but I wasn't sure how much. And someone in the clan finally told me it's like 170 for the jacket, and it takes like almost a year for them to get it to you.
That's what Eden, I think.
I don't know, but like but they do a great job apparently of like getting the size right for you, and then you can put your Steam name or gamer tag whatever on the jacket.
That's badass.
Which does look cool. But I kind of like with the new expansion means like I have another chance to kind of catch up with everyone again and kind of learn what's important, what's not, like the stuff to do. And that was kind of the thing that kind of turned me off initially from Destiny 2 was the amount of stuff that you had to do, which is great, but then I never got a good grasp on like this is the stuff that gets you the higher gear, this is the stuff that is you can kind of pass, or this is the stuff you can do on a daily basis. Because I remember like in Destiny 1 I would go in, do something for a day, and then that was it. Like I could stop playing it and then wait till the next reset on the week after and just play again. But this one, there's stuff for you to do everywhere. There's like almost everything will give you armor to kind of progress higher in your light level. So and just to be back in it with people like that actually know what they're doing and willing to slog through with you for Crucible, because I suck at Crucible. Especially with Iron Banner coming out this past week. So that's been pretty fun.
Yeah,
but those are the big
Sam
two so far.
and Tom have both been chugging through the Iron Banner, and I think the last time Tom on last week or the week before. I don't know, one of the last couple weeks. Tom was talking about a bunch of Destiny 2 stuff. I think Sam last week was talking Iron Banner. So yeah, there's some.
Yeah,
I'm so close to jumping back into Destiny 2. It just my pile of shame just continues to. Actually, it's not expanding at the moment. I'm actually chipping away at the pile of shame, but I'll get to that later on.
Oh, mine never stops growing.
Yeah. My digital pile of shame continues to grow, but my actual physical pile of shame, I can. But what else? What else you got? So Destiny 2, your forever games. That's cool.
Yeah. So those two. Yeah, and I'm trying to like go back and forth on a couple of stuff. I just realized earlier today. I worked from home today and I was browsing through like some of the stuff on my shelf. I haven't played God of War. Like, I still need to play that for some reason.
Oh, yeah, I haven't finished it.
Like,
Dally likes it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I haven't played Spider-Man yet. I take it. I have, but I have to. Aaron's about to throw something at me. If he could throw something at me. It was our game of the year last year, and I didn't. I hardly got time into it. What I got into it, I love. So, but yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that I just realized I need to play. But the one game I have been kind of like doing as a distraction from everything else that I can kind of do for an hour or so every day, although it turns to like 2 or 3, is Frostpunk.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
11-Bit Studios made that. I think it came out last year.
Yeah. Yep.
2 years ago. I actually remember that was like one of the last games I saw as like when I was still doing Tom's Hardware stuff, and like if you want to give me like if you want to make me play a game, all you have to say is isometric simulation management, whatever, like any combination of those 3, and then you give me like the screenshots for it, and I'm like, I'll give that a shot. But Frostpunk, man, is on another level of just how brutal it can get, because it's like you fighting against the cold, and having to manage, keeping people warm. If people are warm, they're happy. But then you have to keep that fire going, so you got the resources, and then because those sources are not in the heated radius of so there's this giant generator in the middle of the map, right? And so like there's a certain radius that you have to be in to stay warm, but the sources like coal, wood, steel, that stuff is like out, like further out, and so people get cold on the way there, and then they get sick, and then you have to build like like hospitals or like the medical tents for them, and it basically just becomes this vicious cycle of like if you don't do it's like if you don't do right in the first, I don't know, first few turns, or not turns, but like the first few minutes of that game, you're already setting yourself up for failure.
Yep.
And I only know this because I actually got far at one point. I eventually died, but like I was just looking at like how people started their games, and there's a whole thing where it's like, okay, cool. So you set up your your early radius however you want, but then when you have people go to those sources, you build like a portable heater or whatever. I forget the name of it, but that's like how you keep them warm. And I'm like, I've never thought of it that way. But now that it's weird because like I don't like watching those videos because I want to discover it for myself, but I'll watch them if I feel like I like get stuck on something. But then once I know it, it's like, oh, I can't unsee it, and then I have to stick to that the entire time from now on until someone else shows me a different path. But still, it's
I'm the
really
exact same way when I play those types of games. Yeah.
Yeah. So but I mean, it's still really fun to see how far I can go by myself. It's great to see like because there's different paths you can take in terms of like edicts that you can do. So you can say, oh, if people get sick, just amputate them and they'll go back to work, or keep them hospitalized, or let the children be whatever, let them have fun, or you bring in child labor. So those choices kind of influence how you're.
That's a given.
Yeah, and I think at one point, like we became like some like very religious child laboring police state, and I'm like,
that's awesome.
I don't know how I feel about that, but okay, it's working. They're staying alive, so I guess they'll worship some pseudo god and have a strict schedule.
Excellent.
But yeah,
it's not even a pseudo god; it's you.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it is me.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Me who got exiled like 30 minutes later because it was getting bad.
I like
but yeah, it's very fun. It's very challenging.
Yeah, Aaron, you played
love the
earlier
aesthetic
in the year,
of it.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were saying it's like one of their games of the year from the year it came out. And rightfully so.
PC first, and then it came out on the consoles after that. I think.
Yeah, right. It's just coming out onto consoles.
Oh, it's just coming out. Okay, all right.
Something like that. Yeah, I still get the emails. But yeah, those are the games I've been playing so far. I tried to bring my Switch like on a commute to work.
Sure. Do you have like a bus ride or a subway ride or something?
It's a train ride from like the northern suburbs of Chicago to downtown.
Okay.
It's like an hour or so. I don't know. I just can never really get into the groove of things. And this is coming from the guy that bought like Fire Emblem 3 Houses and is starting the game for like the 5th time because it's like, oh, I forgot what to do.
Yeah, you kind of forget. And you're like,
what house do you pick every time?
See, I don't even remember the names anymore, but the yellow one.
Okay, that's one I picked too, actually.
Golden Deer?
Golden Deer, yeah.
Yeah,
I took the blue one. I took the Blue Lions. I'm sorry, I lied. I took the Blue Lions.
Apparently, the Blue Lions is like the easiest one to go through.
Is it really?
Like, just apparently, because like of the way that team is structured, but just story wise and like in terms of like aesthetics, I love the Golden Deer.
I know folks who went through all 3 of the paths and then are playing there's like the 4th path, which is DLC that either just came out or is coming out or something like that. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. No. That was one of my coworkers who like the week it came out, just we didn't hear from. We saw him at work, but every time we talked to him, it was like all about 3 Houses.
Yeah, that's me with any other Fire Emblem game. Is that like I just get sucked into it, and so what I need to do is get a Switch Lite because I used to play Fire Emblem. I would take my 3DS at the office, and then you go for a bathroom break after lunch,
right?
And you're going to be in there for like 15 minutes. So you're like, might as well play something. And it was always
Yeah.
like, oh, I got Fire Emblem. I can knock out a battle for sure. And then there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bosses are not listening. Not that it matters, because it's a 15-minute poop break where all the other folks are smoking for like 45 minutes. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. I'm trying to remember so my Fire Emblem history is very like very sparse.
Mhm.
I played whatever the first Fire Emblem game was on Game Boy Advance.
Okay, I think it's Sacred
That.
Stones. I think that's the one
Might
they
be
gave away
yeah.
free for 3DS owners.
Okay, there you go.
Was it the ambassador program, whatever that was.
Right. And then fast forward to the first time I went to PAX East with you guys.
Yep.
And I went to like a local GameStop in Boston and bought one of the Fire Emblem Fates games.
Oh shit! Was that out that time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Was it? I don't know if I got Birthright or is it
Oh,
Conquest?
Conquest. Yeah.
It might have been Conquest. Whichever one had the purple
Yeah, Conquest.
coloring. Yep. Okay, then yeah, it was Conquest.
I played them both.
And
yeah.
I was gonna be like, I'm gonna play this like during downtime at PAX, and I never did.
You never got to it. Yeah. I mean,
I never got to it.
I think I was playing at that. I started with Birthright and went through that, and I played Conquest and went through Conquest, and then I bought the DLC for the third one and just started it, but then ended up not getting far enough along in it. So I think I sold my Birthright copy. I still have Conquest because Conquest is the better one.
Okay.
That's Fire Emblem. I know the feeling though. It's
yeah, like that. So Fire Emblem and then Final Fantasy 12 on Switch, which I've been trying to like.
Yeah.
I've never finished it, and I remember like
Same.
to this day, I bought 4 copies of the game on like PS2 because I remember like the original copy I lent to a friend. The second one got scratched. The third one I played for a bit, then let another friend borrow it, and the fourth one is somewhere.
I got the PS2 version within the tin. I got the aluminum. Did you have the tin?
Oh,
yeah,
no! I just no, because I remember how
I bought it
expensive
for
they were.
PS4 when it came out for PS4 like 2-3 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, I have that too.
I got that, and then I'm like, you know what? I didn't start it on PS4 at all. I got it for like I think it was like $19 or $18 or something. It was on sale at Target.
Yeah,
I think it was on sale at Target right around this time of year last year for Black Friday time. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get it. Totally awesome. And then they announced it was coming to Switch. I'm like, oh fuck this version for the PS4, and I can just I can actually have a chance to play it, because if I'm staring at my PS4, I don't want to play I don't want to play a retro game. I want to play a newer game like God of War or Spider-Man or Final Fantasy 15 or 14 or whatever. A retro game, I'm like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to buy it for a big con. I did buy it, but I'm like, I want to play it on a smaller device, which the Switch is perfect for.
I totally agree. I just realized I have my Steam window up here. I actually have it on Steam as well.
Oh, damn, there you go.
So I had 4 copies on PS2, 1 on PS4, 1 on Steam,
and a Switch. There you go. You got 7 copies of the game. Good job. You've kept that game afloat.
Yeah, but basically. Yeah.
Aaron, what have you been playing, dude?
I haven't really been playing a lot of new stuff, but one thing I did do yesterday evening was I spent a little time with a friend of the site, Jeff Grubb.
Good old Jeffrey.
Testing out the beta feature of Steam, the Steam Remote Play.
Yeah, play with friends feature. Right.
Yep. Jeff enlisted me to help out with that, so he was hosting. And invited me to play through a couple of different games that I did not own. And it worked. It worked okay. We played through. Oh God, I can't even remember the name of it. We played through River City Girls. That was one of them.
Okay.
That game seems pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's on a few different devices. I might pick that up.
Yeah, when it was smooth, it was very smooth and it was very cool. I'm just trying to find Jeff on my list here so I can see the other game. And we played a game called Heave Ho, which is like a weird like indie platforming thing where you're like a body with hands, like really long arms, and the left and the right bumper.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh,
that's on the Switch. That's a fun party game.
Yeah. Those games both seemed very cool. The feature itself, when it worked, was flawless. We used Steam's voice chat, to communicate, and that had no latency at all. And then in the games, it was either running perfectly smooth at full frame rate with no discernible lag at all, but Jeff was hosting it off his laptop on a wireless connection, so I think he had a very limited upload, and I had some serious hitching on my end. Jeff said on his end, because essentially on his end he's just playing locally. It was fully smooth, but I recorded a video so he could see what I was seeing, which is up on my YouTube channel. And it would like hard lock, but the game was still playing because it's streaming from his end, and the sound would keep going, and I could still control my character apparently, even though my screen was totally hard locked. So it seems like that feature might have some issues if you don't quite have the internet bandwidth to be streaming it. But when it worked really well. So that was mostly my week.
Okay.
Testing that.
Now they have that for PS4 as well, right? The remote play.
I don't know.
No, they have. Yeah, they have remote play. They actually was it either 2 weeks or last week where they finally let Android users
that's right.
do some remote play, which is great because I have my Pixel.
You're the one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's all for me, right?
You're gonna get Stadia before any of us. That's you'll be able to function it.
Not happening, Chief.
No, don't worry.
But like I think I always like the idea of remote play, but the latency issue is always kind of the deal breaker for me. Even if it's maybe like I don't know, like less than a second, I'll notice it, and it immediately detracts from the overall experience because I want nearly zero latency. I know there even because it's remote play, there's going to be some latency, but I want enough that I don't notice it.
Sure.
Like if I move the stick left, I want it to move left almost immediately, right?
Yeah.
But there's still there's a huge gap where I can still do like if I move the stick, it's going to be like half a second where I'll still see whatever character doesn't move, then it responds.
And that's the whole buddy play feature that the PS4 buddy play remote play. I always wanted to like believe it would work, but then you're no longer just dealing with from the PS4 to your device.
Exactly.
Now you're dealing from the PS4 through your network up into the cloud through whatever cloud speeds there are, whatever, then back down and to somebody else's PS4, which is like doubly the issue there. So
and dealing with PSM, which has abysmal speeds.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, this version on Steam, when it was working smoothly, I could detect no latency at all.
Okay.
Like I was playing like in Heave Ho, like when you're trying to grab on things with your hands, I would hit a button to control one of my hands, and it seemed instantaneous to grab onto things. And with River City Girls, like I would be punching in combos, and they would be executing as I was hitting them.
Do you guys think that Steam has dabbled in it, obviously, with like Steam Link and a few other things? Do you think they'll fully pump out a streaming? I think if any company could actually do it, if they can get that latency down, Steam would be able to, because then you already have all your games on there. I mean, I'd love to just be able to spool up the Steam client on my phone and not have to have my laptop on, not have to have anything loaded up, and just be able to start and stop wherever I am on whatever game I have. I think that would be pretty badass.
It would be great, but I think, and you mentioned the Steam Link because I think that was kind of like their kind of big heave ho for that one, considering the game that Aaron played. But I mean, I can see him giving it another shot, but I remember just like everyone getting really hyped for the Steam Link, the Steam controller, the Steam machine, and it just kind of like fizzled out.
I'm staring at mine right now. I haven't opened it.
I know, like mine's gathering dust somewhere.
Yeah. Is it on top of your Steam box as well?
No, actually, I think my Steam machine. I actually don't know where my Steam machine is. I know my Steam Link is somewhere. I actually have two for some reason.
Nice.
But I mean, like, like I can see them trying it again because this is kind of like their way around it. It could also be they're doing this because kind of like with all the Google Stadia stuff coming out, they're trying to kind of get a little share of that news bite. But like you said, I think they'll be the ones to do it, or they're the ones that are most likely to do it because they already have experience in that industry, as opposed to where Google is kind of like you still see them as the newcomer in this area. But I kind of wouldn't put my hopes up on it.
Sure. What else, Aaron?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I bought that Humble Bundle, the one that's going on right now, the RPG / Neptunia one.
Okay.
Oh, I need to look at that.
I've been poking around at those. I played a game, one of the games in them called Trillion God of Destruction, which is like just like an RPG. That seems okay. It seems very unimpressive otherwise. It functions. That's about as much as I can say about it.
Okay. That works.
Yeah,
I
it was
still
like
need to get gone.
I was just gonna say, like, I picked it up because I had a prepaid card that had like a couple of bucks on it, and I was like, well. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. It was mostly old games that I've already talked about, and that Steam Link stuff.
Sure. And you just got a code for another game, which hopefully we can get a chance to try out. The Stranded Sails.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook up my TV and PS. I don't. You probably can't see it. You probably can't see it on this angle, but like right
I see it.
There.
I see it on screen.
Yeah, that's my television and PS4 in the very back here. So I just got to plug those in and plug an Ethernet cable in, and then I can probably take a look at that game.
Excellent. Well, very cool.
I don't have a capture card, so I can't stream from my PS4.
Oh, no.
You don't have an Elgato. You can load up Twitch, can't you? And then just
I had an Elgato and I sold it.
Just load up Twitch
for
YouTube,
rent money.
And then just stream
so the PS4 has a Twitch streaming option, but it constantly keeps like your game shows up on the screen, but then it constantly keeps a chat on your screen and your webcam.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of having chat on screen while streaming in case people decide to post naughty words in the chat.
Yeah, that never happens. People are good. Everybody's good. Okay, very good. I'll talk a little bit about what I've been playing here. So, finished up that Zelda Link's Awakening, which was fun. You know what? I don't know if I think I mentioned a little bit last week. I don't know if I'll ever play it. I don't think I'll play that game again. It's fine. It's Zelda Link's Awakening. I mean, it is quite literally Link's Awakening with nicer graphics. It's maybe the 5th best Zelda game. I mean, you're dealing up against the likes of Link to the Past, which is the best. The original Zelda, which is fantastic. I'd love to see the original Zelda remade with these visuals, and I'm kind of surprised that Nintendo hasn't announced any DLC, because you could totally get DLC for that original Zelda. Anyways, or at least the dungeons. They had the little dungeon things that you could play. But it's I'm
of the mind. Sorry, I was saying I'm of the mind where like I feel like they do this to kind of send out a floater and be like, okay, if this was well received, do we put the money and the time and the assets to doing that, giving older Zelda games that same treatment?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, Dally.
Yeah.
Send Sam an invite.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right, I'll do that right now. I'll add him in here.
Anyway, you guys go ahead, because I haven't played Zelda.
You're gonna see a bunch of shit on here. Let me. Sam saw Randy do. Oh God Almighty! It's S endless. There he is. I'm adding him in there. You guys saw the stuff behind there. Anyways, in fact, the game that I am going to talk about right now, Sam has played as well. Oh shit! How is this now? I gotta hold on. Let me shrink the screen down, because now we get all 4 of us on there. Hold on, give me a second here. But
it's us 3 and Princess Peach.
It's us 3 and Hey, no, it's us 4. Totes, us 4. Just fixing the screen right here, getting us all on
Sam,
there.
buddy.
Sorry, I ruined everything by showing up. It's okay. I'm used to it.
I mean, you typically do that, so it's okay.
That's usually me, man.
Yeah, there we go. I'll get all that stuff figured out for the next time. I'm still learning. Anyways, how are you doing, Sam? Sam, everybody. Sam Dixon is here. Sam,
good.
Twitch affiliate.
Hello,
Sam Dixon. I'm playing a game that we're getting into what we've been playing part, and Rexley and our boy Scratty Bones already talked about their games. Hairdo and Scratty Bones talked about their games. I am playing Ring Fit Adventure.
Ooh, I hear that is surprisingly good.
I saw your tweets, man.
I am okay. I'm gonna say this. I am actually quite surprised at how this game is. I'm rearranging this shit by the way.
I
How
need
it's
you to
kicking my
confirm
butt.
or deny something for me, Dally.
Sure, go ahead.
I've heard one of the exercises in that game is essentially making you have sex with the air in front of you.
Yes, it is totally. Yes, there are a few exercises like that. So it's Nintendo released this device. It's a yoga hoop or yoga ring basically, and you clip one of the Switch controllers on there, the Joy-Con on there, and you put another one on. I'm doing things here. You put one on a leg strap. And you strap that to your left thigh, and that's all you need, right? And so as you're playing this game, it's like this mini role-playing game where, I mean, it's like a tunnel, right? It's basically Final Fantasy XIII, the whole first half of the game, where you're just going in a straight line and you're running into battles. Well, you go in a straight line. There's a little bit of multiple paths you can take on some of these levels, and so you can either jump up, jump down, try to get more coins or less coins. And the coins let you buy new equipment, which lets you take more damage or attack more or do other skills and stuff. And then so you're physically running, right? And then to do a jump, you grab this hoop and you squeeze it, right? And it measures, because of the amount of force you're putting into the hoop, it's actually kind of measuring how hard you're squeezing it. And that tells you how high you jump. And then if you kind of hold it in front of you, you can squeeze it and shoot like air jets out, and you can, if you kind of pull it apart, it's almost like sucking in a vacuum type of stuff. So you can collect things throughout the levels. But you're essentially just running. Sometimes you have to run fast, sometimes slow, sometimes you have to jump, sometimes you have to do squats and other stuff along the way. Then you get to a battle, which is anywhere from 1 to, I think, 5 enemies on the screen at once. At least that's as far as I've gotten so far. And each enemy is color-coded. So there'll be like a red enemy, a blue, a gold. And they're all themed to like workout equipment. And so if you're fighting a red enemy, you're going to have an advantage if you do one of the move sets, one of the fitness sets, which are red. So red is typically like upper body, arm strength type of stuff. Yellow is more of the yoga and core workouts. Green is something else, and then blue is something else. And so you have these kind of 4 different types of workouts you can do. And that's where things get interesting, because you can only take away so much energy or HP by doing these move sets. So you may have, like, let's say 10 times you can it gives you like anywhere from like 5 to 100 different times you can attack per move that you do. So if let's say I select squats, I can do 20 squats as part of my attack, and I have to physically squat. So I'm doing holding the ring out in front of me, I'm squatting, and you hold it down at the bottom for like a split second until it tells you on screen to jump up, and you sort of pop up and you do a squat, and it takes away a little bit of the energy of the HP of the enemy. And to block, you kind of take the ring and you force it against your stomach, your core, and you hold it in place while the enemy's attacking you. You can actually kind of feel the vibration of how well you're doing on each of the fitness exercises. But in like a 15-minute play session, you will get some actual like burn on your thighs. And Sam, I don't know if you've had much of an opportunity to play it, but I'm on World 3 and it's making my body sweat, and I work out often.
I only got a chance to do it for 2 nights so far, mostly because I got deathly ill.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I mean, it's you pull the thing out of the box the first time, and you're like squeezing the like ring, and you're I'm saying to myself, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel like it would be much of a workout.
Yeah.
Like they must make you do like an incredible amount of reps. And yeah, after those like 15 minutes that you're doing
you're basically saying you're screaming, holy fuck.
Yeah, I think it recommends, like, it's like, oh, take it easy, like only spend like a couple of minutes with us for the first week or so, and then grow the length of your play session. And like after area 2, world 2, map 2, whatever, the second level, I'm like, Jesus, like I don't know if I could even get through the boss. And I got like halfway through that first like major boss fight, and I was like, I don't know. I think tonight this is gonna have to end. I'm not gonna see the end of this.
So you face Drago like at the end of every world. He's kind of like the Koopa. He's the main bad dude. He's a big giant buff dragon who's pretty funny actually, because halfway through a battle he'll just kind of stop and start posing. And he's pretty ripped, by the way. He's ripped. But those battles can take like 5 minutes. It feels like it takes 25 minutes because you're doing these exercise moves and you have to block and exercise and block, and it can wear you out like quite a bit.
Yeah, it has a running counter on the left-hand side of the screen that's like, it's not the amount of time you've been playing, it's the amount of time you've been exercising.
Yeah.
So it'll give you like an estimate like, oh, this level will take 10 minutes, but that could be like 8 minutes worth of workout and 2 minutes worth of dialogue, or just 2 minutes worth of like selecting your move set and stuff like that. My only downside that I see with it so far is you don't get all the different sort of exercises and stuff right at the front. Like you have to kind of go through the game and unlock like different exercises and stuff. And I have like sort of a bum knee. So a lot of the initial stuff is like do a squat and like, here's a squatting like sitting pose. So like some of that stuff like isn't great. I kind of just have to get around that or try to use moves that may not be the best move set to, play the RPG portion of the game. So that's kind of a bummer, but they do have those mini games and stuff that I haven't really jumped into much of yet. So maybe some of that stuff will help balance it out so I can do some exercises that don't have to focus on that knee. I mean,
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've super enjoyed it so far. It's funny to see how they like did the sort of like adventure game trappings inside of this exercise. So of course you can't go like everybody that's played games forever. You can't go and explore the corner of the map that like nothing's over there because you've played 1,000 games and there's got to be something over there.
Right.
But it has like when you're running, most of the levels you're like jogging or knee lifts to kind of go upstairs faster. But you can use the ring con to sort of push and suck air, so you can like send blasts of air or like suck in things. So like there's usually like dangly bits on the side of the stage. You can blow the dangly bits and get coins and stuff out of them.
You can suck the dangly
you can
bits
blow
too.
the dangly bits.
It's like a great way to be like, got you good, fucker. Like you're working out more than we even wanted you to.
Yeah.
Like, so it's some of that stuff's just hysterical.
There's World 3, which is where I'm at right now.
Brag about it.
Yeah. And I don't know how many worlds there are in this game. I have no idea how long the game is. But I think I'm in World 3. Maybe I'm World 4. I'm in World 4. Whatever. There's a section where you come up. So there's like doors throughout the level, and as you're kind of jogging along, and if you have to kind of squeeze the ring con, and it'll send a blast of air, and it'll blow the door open. Well, in World 3 or 4, whatever it is, you have to come up to these doors, and they have these big fans in front of them, pedal-like fans, and you have to like squeeze. So I'm doing the motion here. I should grab the Joy-Con or the ring con. You have to squeeze this thing nonstop, and you have to do it pretty fast. Which me doing this, as people can, if you can see it, great. If you can hear it, too bad. I'm like pushing my fists together in front of me. You have to do it really fast, and then eventually you'll kind of build up enough air to open the door. But you have to do that like 4 times in the level. By the 4th time, my whole upper body, from my my biceps, my chesticles, my everything else, my shoulders, was not in pain, but completely drained of energy. And maybe I was doing it too fast. Maybe I was not fast enough. I don't know what it was, but that part really wore me out to the point where I couldn't, like, the next day, I couldn't lift my arm past a certain point because I felt like they were really secretly really worked out, and the whole game is kind of like that. Like, you don't really know. I mean, you're working out, but it's really wrapped in the adventure portion of it where you're like, and at least, the further you get, and Samuel, maybe you'll experience this later on as well, is that now you're starting to I think after level 2 or level 3, you can start to line up the monsters to the moves that you have, the fitness moves, and start readjusting the fitness moves, so that you can use the red moves on the red monsters and the green on the green, and so on. And it starts to be like it's painted like this, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest style basic RPG. There's no real strategy or anything, but just a little addition of the color aspect of it makes you forget that you're actually not forget, but makes you mistake working out for doing RPG like strategy, and it's it's an actual workout. Like, I sweated like a pig the first time I did it. I don't know if you did, Sam, but I know I was just like,
Oh yeah. Well, and it's great that it doesn't give you like a time like force. I'm trying to time limit, I guess is the phrase I'm working for. So like, if you have to take breaks in between reps or whatever, let's say this workout or this move takes like 18 reps you got to get through, like it doesn't mind if you do 5 of them, go, holy hell, that's rough, get a drink of water, run to the bathroom real quick and come back. Like, it's not like, hey, you've got 30 seconds to get through all these reps, or like none of this counts, or like, so like I super appreciate that as somebody who maybe lacks motivation to do that type of stuff. It also has a weird like tracker of like I haven't delved into it a little bit, but it has like a tracker where if you're like watching TV or you're playing other games, you can like
the
you have the
multitasking,
ring
I think
con.
is what it's called.
Yeah, you can just have the ring con near you, and if you're in the middle of a cutscene of a game and you just do a couple reps, like it counts that and like gives you credit like, in the actual exercise game. So yeah, it's got cool stuff. I definitely want to dive into it. You can even use it to set like daily reminders and stuff like that.
It's the first thing that uses the alarm system on the Switch, so that your Switch it'll like blink and vibrate the controller's will to let you know that it's time to play the game. Have you set the alarm stuff yet?
No, I haven't done.
Have you done any of the online stuff, like set up your profile or anything?
Yeah, so I set it up to where it will now see everybody else's.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean,
because I wasn't seeing your stuff early on. That's why I was curious.
Okay.
But yeah, it ranks you against everybody kind of in your age range. So for me, it's like everybody born in 1978 I can see. I can't see like online around the world with anybody else. But I'm so it's not like here I am, a 41-year-old dude basically going up against someone who's like 22 and a bodybuilder. I won't be able to rank that. Obviously, it actually does a pretty smart way of ranking you against people in your age group. But apparently, out of the folks that are 41 years old, and I don't know how many there are, but I'm ranked like, I think the lowest I'm ranked in anything is like 158, and it basically like keeps track of how many reps did you do of certain things, how many times you jogged, where's your ranking against everybody else in there. I'm number 1 in a couple of things, and I'm like number 150 or 160 in a few things, and like 75 on a few other things. So I'm not sure how many folks are playing the game, or at least have it connected online. But it may not be a lot connecting it online, or at least not a lot sharing their info, I should say, because I'm ranked pretty high in all that kind of stuff.
You're a Ring Fit Esports Pro.
I might be, but Sam, and let me know how you feel. But I kind of have the feeling where we fit and that stuff, people kept coming back to it over time. Ring Fit Adventure, I'm gonna finish this like campaign, and then I'll probably be done with it. Like, I don't think I'll be playing the little mini games. I'd rather play Mario Party and other stuff like that. But
yeah, I guess it all depends on like well, first of all, how long is it? Because it could be like 3 months worth of content if you're only like working out like 15 minutes a day or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I guess it would just depend on like how much of I guess progress you would see with this type of system. So if they somehow incentivize you to go back through the levels, like possibly if it becomes like, hey, this is just the daily workout thing you have, like I can see people just kind of keep grinding it out, and who knows, maybe down the road they release a second version of this or some other sort of content.
Like I'm hoping DLC. So the game is built on the Zelda engine, the Breath of the Wild engine. I'd love if they fucking released like Breath of the Wild DLC and said, "Hey, now you can be Link and take on all the enemies as Link and do this quest." I mean, that could be pretty badass, actually.
Well,
If they were really go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I wonder if they're gonna do something like they did with the Labo stuff, where
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
use this as a steering wheel for Mario Kart, but to go, you like, pull it, or to brake, you like push it together or something like
Hmm.
that. Like I mean, that's who would actually use that to play the game, but if it's a great way to get your kids to work out, like, hey, let's play family Mario Kart, and Timmy over here is going to be driving with the Rincon.
This is the
Ooh, that'd be
first,
good.
or this they make a note that even kids that are like 10 and under can play this as long as they got adult supervision. So it's not like
Have a
it's
parent or guardian.
yeah, exactly. It's not like you're like previous fitness games were always saying you don't want to use it if you're under a certain age or whatever. But this is it's pretty open to younger. But my daughter will do the move as I'm doing the move. She'll kind of copy me. She's gonna be 10 later this month, but she'll copy the stuff that I do as I'm doing it, and she'll get a little bit of a workout too. But yeah, it's surprising by how much of a workout this is, I guess. And so I'm curious to see how long we can go. One of IGN's reviewers was saying that they were playing it for like almost 2 hours a day and made it their workout. I mean, granted, maybe they're doing it on sort of the easier modes and not like the more difficult enemy modes, but they were doing it for on nearly 2 hours a day for like 10 days straight, and they still hadn't finished the game when the review went live. So maybe there is something to how many theoretical maybe it is like a 60-day or a 90-day plan. It's their thought is that you're going to play it like 3 to 5 days a week and put in 15 to 20 minutes each time. So who knows? I'm curious to see.
That'd be crazy.
Where it
Their
goes.
product page actually says over 20 worlds, although I don't know.
Oh shit! Well, I'm
But
on
it,
world
but, it,
3.
but it seems
yeah.
like, but I mean, it seems like there's a lot within each world to kind of keep you.
Yeah, there is like the world that I'm in now.
Down.
There's a town where I can start to buy equipment in, and there's like I can craft potions and stuff to help me
Damn,
survive.
dude, that's crazy.
But it's like
You were saying.
okay.
No, I was gonna say, like you were saying earlier, like it's built on the same engine that they used to make Breath of the Wild, and if they were really smart, what they would just let you do with that game is let you play the Ring Fit version
yeah.
of Breath of the Wild, where
That's
you just
yeah.
traverse that, because there's so
That
many.
could be cool. That could be cool. All
Like,
of a sudden, yeah.
you want to climb that, like you want to climb
God,
the
yeah.
early temple, go ahead, just Ring Fit that all the way up. You want to climb this like mountain, do it.
Mm-hmm. That could
You
be a
want a
pretty cool
marathon,
idea.
like yeah, you want to see if you get the fastest time between the starting point and the castle in the middle. Go
So
for
like
it.
about a year or so ago, Nintendo put out the call for anybody who had ideas for what to do with the Switch, right? Do you guys remember that? They said, "Oh, if anyone wants to, we're having like this little contest, not contest, but this open call to do unique things to the Switch."
Right.
I wonder if this came out of that because, the Labo stuff was cool for the time it took to build it, and then you're kind of done with it. And that was kind of announced after it. And the VR stuff came out after it. The VR stuff works, but it's bad. But what's cool with this is that you don't realize how powerful and how feature packed that right Joy-Con is, because it has the NFC in it, it has the IR reader in it, and
Dang.
it can measure. So at the end of every section of the world, that like each world is divided up into like 5 or 6 levels. At the end, it says, "Do you want to check your your heart rate?" So you put your thumb on the IR sensor, and it zaps infrared light, IR light to your thumb, and measures your heart rate. And I'm thinking, well, it's kind of, how can that actually work? How close is it? Well, as it was doing that and it came out with the number, I checked my the Apple Watch, and damn it, the numbers were like really close to how it can measure your heart rate. And I'm thinking, holy shit, they're doing some wizardry with this controller. I get why they're $80 for a pair of these, $78 for a pair of these controllers, because they put a lot of shit in there. And it's I think the HD Rumble. This is the first time the HD Rumble actually has a smart usage because it's not gimmicky because it actually does flow into the the ring con and the different stuff you're doing in there. So yeah, it's innovation wise, it's really pretty far out there. But yeah, I'm curious to see how long it'll. I'm known to be the kind of person that fucking completes a game and doesn't put it down until he completes it. So I have a feeling I'll be doing that with this game, and I'm just gonna plow through every day. I'll play a couple sections of each level. And if there's 20 worlds, like it might take me through Christmas and through the beginning of next year, but by God, I'm gonna do it and see how.
Meanwhile, I'm over here, seeing everything about this game on Twitter and hearing you guys talk about it. I just finished my 5-week run of steroids to try and fix my legs. And I took my last one yesterday, and today from my toes all the way up to my knees, just feel like they're on fire, like my legs are dying.
Dang.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I would never be able to play this game.
No, because
I want to play it
mode
so badly, but I can't do a squat right now.
So they have this. They have a you can actually set your
right?
limits in there, and they have this thing called quiet mode. So it's set up that if you live in an apartment building, you're not like stomping your feet to do, to wake up the neighbors around you and stuff. If you set it to quiet mode, then you're like barely lifting up your feet to do a lot of the stuff, which I think is better for folks that are, that maybe aren't as mobile or maybe have leg issues and stuff. And again, you can set your, what you want to use to work out, which I think is pretty good. I want to dive more into the details of it. I have like 8 accounts that I've made on my Switch. I'm going to see if any of those I can make sort of I have like a European account. I have a Japanese account, so I can get codes I can access all the eShops basically and get different discounts at different times. But yeah, it's you can do the quiet mode. I'll give that a shot, the quiet mode, to see how quiet it actually is. But yeah, Ring Fit Adventure. It's not for the Wii Fit crowd, that's for sure. It's for the RPG gamer that wants to get a little bit more fit. But yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I mentioned I've been playing Zelda, and I jumped back into Diablo 3 on the Switch, which I'm really liking. That game is still just fucking awesome. Waiting for that Diablo 4 announcement in a couple weeks here. Did you have that on your news blast, Aaron? No. And then I just got the code for Tangle Towers for the Switch. I think it's on the App Store as part of the Apple Arcade type of thing. But just got the code for it like a couple days ago and installed it last night, so I'll be jumping into that. It looks pretty cool. It's like a murder mystery thing. So that's it. Sam, what have you been playing besides Ring Fit Adventure?
Not much. Mostly
Hi,
Destiny
Sam.
2.
Hi,
Hello. This week is Gambit week, it appears. So I've been playing a bunch of Gambit, which is honestly like the coolest mode in all shooters, and they should all have them. I see Rexley disagrees with me.
It's go on.
I mean, if you have a competent team, but that's with every game.
That's really what it relies on, is a competent team.
Yeah.
Like you can do Crucible, you can even do Iron Banner with random people, but Gambit Prime requires a team.
Yeah, it's hard because everybody wants to be the hero, and everybody overestimates their own abilities. And nothing's worse than seeing like 15 motes lost because somebody died. To explain Gambit to people that don't waste their lives playing Destiny 2. So Gambit is a player versus player I guess player versus environment versus player versus environment match. Yeah. So it's basically you have simultaneous games going on, and then the ability for your team to go and mess with their team and their team to come over and mess with you. So you fight normal enemies in the game. Usually it rotates between who you're fighting. And you get motes from kills, and some enemies are worth more motes than others. And you take these motes and you put them in your bank. And you can hold anywhere from 0 to 15 motes. And depending on how many you bank at a time, can send a blocker to the bank for the other team. So if you put in 5 motes, it's a small blocker, all the way up to 15 motes, that's a large blocker. And these blockers prevent the other team from putting their motes in until you kill them. In Gambit Prime, these blockers can siphon moats from the other team's bank if they're not paying attention and clearing them. So the whole goal is to get up to a certain number of moats, and you spawn this thing called a Primeval. And this Primeval is basically a final boss. And if you kill this final boss, your team wins that round or that match of Gambit. If your team gets killed while they're fighting the Primeval, the Primeval's health will respawn. And I think in Gambit Prime, it has to be a kill from the other team
Yes, it
for
does.
the health to respawn onto the Primeval. So basically, if you get killed while you're holding on to moats, those moats get wiped away. So if you are holding 15 moats and trying to defeat some blockers so you can bank your moats, and the invader from the other team comes and kills you, those 15 moats are just lost to the ether, which puts you way behind in a match. Gambit Prime, as long as the match is close, you can come back from some pretty dire situations. But if they get their Primeval and you're still dicking around on like 25 moats, like you're pretty much screwed. So basically, it's a balance of, you can be a good PvE player and be really successful at Gambit, and you can be a PvP player and be really successful at Gambit. But you kind of have to balance like what your strengths and weaknesses are on a team. And if you're playing with random people, that's not really great. Because the one guy that thinks he's really good at killing the enemy team, if he goes over there and doesn't kill anybody while he invades, it kind of puts you at a disadvantage because they now can send somebody over, and if they manage to get a couple kills, like that offset is better for them and not for you. So it's really about strategy. And yeah, I agree. You can get into matches with randos that are great and they work perfectly fine and they're really exciting. And then you can get into matches with randos where you got the guy who constantly gets 15 moats and then dies like almost immediately because they're trying to be a hero.
Sorry, that's me.
Yeah.
That used to be me too, but I've now committed to like, you get 10 moats and you turn those in, Sam. You don't mess around trying to get 15. Don't be a hero.
You go at 10 moats, I go at 5. I'm like, I look at the counter.
I would like to offer a counterpoint. Think about how good it feels when you cash 15 in.
Oh, it feels great.
Oh, it's great when you're alive.
Don't get me wrong. If I got a bounty that tells me that I need to send a large blocker to the other team, it's going to be a large blocker match. So, yeah, and of course, you don't know with randos too is like who's trying to complete their bounties and who's just trying to play.
Oh yeah,
because you've always got the one dude that's over there trying to get headshots with the hand cannon.
Hi, how you doing?
And you're like, bud, we're trying to play a match. You're like, no, but I need these precision kills. As Tom Johnson would say, he's kind of a hand cannon guy.
He's kind of a hand cannon.
Yeah, he is.
Tom Johnson.
So yeah, it's a delicate balance, but I really do like the concept of that match type. Dally, you've actually seen me play Gambit. That was the mode they were playing at.
Oh, that's right, at
E3
E3 last year, right?
Yeah, when my team just shit stomped the other team.
Yep.
That's bad.
We started
playing. Yeah, we started playing intentionally bad because we were trying to see everything the mode had to offer.
Yeah, they completely clobbered the other team. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Yeah, the first round ended very quickly.
Yeah.
To the shock, I believe, even to the Blizzard
Destiny guys, yeah.
or the Destiny guys that were around us. And the next match, I just played nothing but the bow because the bow hadn't been released yet. I just wanted to try it out.
It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So, it's fun. It's interesting with this new season of Undying, and they did it with Forsaken too. I passed on that game. But like they keep bringing out like every week, it seems like they're trying to get you to focus in like different areas. So like they'll have like, this is the kind of PvP event for this week, and this is the PvE event for you to kind of do. So like this week is Gambit, and they also released the Nightmare difficulties on the, what do they call those things? The Nightmare Hunts?
Nightmare.
Yeah, so those are, I'm not sure if you can queue on those by yourself. You might have to have a fire team. So they added that sort of like PvE content. And then also I believe it's like double XP or Valor boost or whatever they call it for Gambit. And then last week's PvP event was Iron Banner. So they're trying to get people to sort of like hop around and see everything that the game kind of has to offer. And I think that's nice. The only thing that's kind of
that's nice.
uh, is like, so Gambit has a storyline apparently,
Yes,
and
it does. Oh man, it does.
I assume some of that is like tied in with the Forsaken campaign, because he started talking about characters I've never met, a location I've never been to. And then at some point he just makes you choose. It's like, will you choose me or the Vanguard? And I'm like, whoa, what a loaded question you've got.
Right?
Vanguard that I've like been on and been the side of for this entire like Destiny 1 and 2 campaign, or do I choose you, who I like barely know? You're just some dude that flips a coin and has a game type. But yeah, it's so weird. It's another one of those things where you can see the sort of growing pains of them making like a free-to-play game and trying not to eliminate some of the more exciting things from the newer players.
By the way, fantastic dental hygiene there, Aaron. That was perfect. I went to the dentist this morning, and I have apparently my teeth are doing spectacular. So I'm very much into proper hygiene.
There you go.
Yeah, mine aren't, but I've been munching on this apple pie, and I got to keep the teeth clean.
I see you're like slowly picking at that thing.
Sam, I actually made a point to tell this to. I was playing with clanmates with some Gambit actually last week, and this is like one of the first few times I've actually gotten to experience it. And he does that whole. There's a whole, for those who don't play Gambit, there's a whole animation or cutscene that he does in the beginning where like he does a weird coin flip, does some acrobatic moves, and then shows you like what the enemy is. And I'm like, they really missed out on an opportunity to have the voice of the Drifter be Mark the Cascos, who most people know as the Iron Chef chairman when did Iron Chef America. Because that would have been a whole thing that I like. That little bit would have gotten me a little bit more interested in it. But say lovey on that end.
Say lovey.
I haven't played too much of the mode, but I hope there's one of those cutscenes where he drops it and he's like, crap, Vex. You know what? It's Vex. Like, go fight the Vex. It'll be great. All right, bye.
That'd be great. I haven't seen that yet, but that'd be great if it was one.
Yeah, so I mean, Destiny 2 continues to be good. Bungie still makes some of the best shooters around, and I'm pretty much a sucker for that content. So
Same here, man.
Are you playing on PC, Rexley?
I am.
Okay, because I straight up joined Tom Johnson's clan, and then
really?
I've yet to play one bit of Destiny 2 with Tom or anybody in that clan, because I think most of them are PS4 players, because it does the thing where it like kind of blacks them out, and they're online, but like they're inaccessible to join because they're playing on a different console.
Okay.
So I'm like, sweet, what a great game that I'm playing with all these fun people.
I would say you can join my clan, but my clan reached 100 people like 2 weeks ago.
That's fine. I'm just there to siphon engrams at this point.
Yeah.
So if we're not Facebook friends, let's be Facebook friends, because if you want to play Gambit, this guy's down to play Gambit.
All right. Cool. You can carry me through that, because what's funny is like when I play with my clanmates, it's never an issue, or it's always an issue to figure out who's the guy invading, because no one's like, all right, who's invading, and you just like hear quiet for like 30 seconds, and then someone's like, okay, I guess I'll do it.
Well, if you need a hunter that plays with a controller, which I'm sure
nice,
it's not very well viewed in the community.
To each their own. I don't judge.
Listen, I somebody who played Halo 2 semi-competitively and grew up playing with controllers on shooters. I'm not bad. I am also old, and I'm getting to the point now where I forget what game it was. It might have actually been Destiny 1, where I was playing some PvP in that game, and I could see myself getting slower. And it was like it was like maddening to me. I was like, oh no, I'm getting old, and my reaction time in shooters isn't as good as it used to be. And it made me sad. It was like the first moment of like when you're 27, all of a sudden you realize that time is weird as hell. And then
like you become 40, and then you realize,
yeah. But you get the thing where it's like this TV show is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. You're like, that's 10 years old. I'm gonna die soon. You're like 20, you're like 27, and the world all of a sudden seems like very small.
I'm 32, and I've gone from what felt like yesterday playing Battlefield. Yeah, playing
you were
Battlefield.
Literally just like 31.
Yeah. I think
man.
I've been writing for SideQuesting since I was 24,
Something
I think.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, it feels like yesterday where I was playing Battlefield Bad Company 2 like semi-competitively. And then now I'm at the point where I play a shooter and my brain reacts fast enough, but my arms are like,
Right,
nah,
so
man.
bad. I hate it. It's like I see the situation, I know exactly what I need to do to survive it, and I'll die. And I'm like, motherfucker. If I was 5 years younger. Yeah, it's bad. It's that late 20s when you just all of a sudden you're like time is just skewed.
This
in a
is
way
why
that
you guys can't play Ring Fit Adventure, because your knees are going out. You're getting old.
This is also why esports people are not over the age
Exactly.
of like 24.
Listen, man, it really hit me a couple of days ago because like I've been on these steroids and stuff for this medical condition, and it turns out one of the effects of steroids, the specific kind of steroid that I've been on to try and fix me, it shreds your metabolism. So I've had
really?
a hyperactive metabolism my whole life. So I've been like super thin, and that I can use that to trick myself into being like, no, I'm still good. Like I'm still young. I'm still fit. My reactions are still good. I got out of the shower the other day and looked down and went, oh, I've got a gut.
Yeah.
Oh, my metabolism's dead.
Join the
Hell
club,
yeah.
man.
Hell yeah.
Join the club.
It's
Maybe
like,
you do
I'm
need the quiet mode.
I'm not young anymore.
All right, well let's you got anything else, Sam, besides Destiny 2?
No, I was just gonna say back on our time discussion that I realized I did the mental math that by the time my partner and I get married, I will have been dating her for a third of my life.
That's awesome.
Which is like it's like a weird like thing where it's like, oh, I met you in college and we started dating in college. Like that wasn't that long ago. And then you look at the date and you're like, that was like almost close to 10 years ago. Oh my God.
You're gonna eventually you're gonna get to the point where you turn to your partner like I'm about to do pretty soon here. Actually, no, I think we've hit it. Half of her life has been with me, so she doesn't know anything besides being with this.
I'm in that same boat. I'm turning my girlfriend.
And at some point, you'll remove the handcuffs.
Exactly. And here,
no, I'm in the same boat, man.
Let's move on to news. We have three bigger stories that Aaron's been here. He's been crunching those numbers. He's been making phone calls and he's got some big.
I've been reaching out. I've been reaching out to analysts.
Reaching out to Michael Pachter, which is just
I'm getting 2.5% returns on my questions. What's up, Michael?
What's up, Michael
Pachter? So I've got one kind of lighthearted story, and then two actual.
I think
stories.
you're lightheaded.
Yeah, a little bit. First story up on the docket: Xbox/Microsoft changed how gamer tags work.
Oh, really?
Yep. So they changed it. So they work like BattleNet now, where you can pick any name you want, and it can be the same name as anybody else because it's all
the number is added.
Mm-hmm. And alongside with that, they gave everybody a free name change.
Okay.
So you can change your name for free. You don't have to pay them to use a new feature. So Sam, I know you've been using Delirious Wombat 77 for like 6 or 7 years now. you can change that.
Calling you out, man.
You can change that to Delirious Wombat 69, and you don't
Which
get
is
to
what
pay
you
dollars.
should
Nice.
Where'd you pull Delirious Wombat from?
I made it up at work.
All right.
I thought about what would be funny, what would be a funny animal, and what's a year that people are born.
I will say that in college, my League of Legends Smurf account was named Not Entirely Panda.
Nice.
Not entirely Panda.
So you got to go with the animals. So there's that. That's semi-relevant because your Xbox/gamertag/Microsoft gamertag, they're all kind of one thing now. And if you're getting in on that Game Pass action to play Outer Wilds, which unlocks in 21 hours, 20 and a half hours, you have a gamer tag, so you can change it for free.
Nice. Good shit.
What else?
Much excited.
A coalition of U.S. senators from both sides of the aisle got together to write a letter to good old Bobby Kotick, condemning Blizzard for the whole Blitzchung Hong Kong Hearthstone thing.
Good stuff.
You done fucked up when Democrats and Republicans get together to tell you to clean your shit up.
Unite the country.
Especially in this current political climate, when they're all getting together to be like, come come on, son. But yeah, so they essentially wrote a very harshly worded letter condemning Blizzard.
That's insane. That is really funny.
That's pretty fucking funny. I don't think anything came out of it. I don't think Bobby Kotick responded to it. They call him Robert Kotick.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh,
he's
man.
in trouble now. Robert Kotick. You know you're in trouble when they call you by your given name. You're call him by his Christian name, Robert Kotick Jr.
And the biggest news story of the week, this is the big one. This is the one that impacts everybody everywhere for all time. Fallout First is a premium member subscription for Fallout 76. It costs $12.99 a month or $99.99 a year. Now listen, I know what you're thinking, but that's a savings of $55.89 if you get the yearly subscription over the monthly. And according to my notes here, it contains a bunch of fucking nonsense.
This is buck wild, right? Like this is ridiculous.
I think it was meant to launch April 1st instead of Fallout 1st.
Well, so okay, here's the deal. So the one thing that makes this seem actually like anything is that it gives you access to private servers. Which means if you and a bunch of your friends are playing Fallout 76 and you don't want to deal with assholes launching nukes at you constantly, you can get in on this subscription and just play by yourselves.
You forgot to add one qualifier in your statement. If you and a bunch of your friends are still playing Fallout 76.
There it is.
So this news came out, and pretty much everybody on Twitter and on Reddit and everything is essentially lambasting Todd Howard and making fun of the fact that like essentially nobody plays Fallout 76. And a couple of people have been pointing out like there is a core group of people who do play Fallout 76 and this is probably for them. To which I say, you haven't even put out the update that gives NPCs yet. Why are you trying to charge a subscription to people who already paid you for this fucking game?
Lord Almighty, God and baby Jesus.
It's insane.
It is. You can tell that this was done well in advance. They planned this probably a long time ago to launch around this time because you need to get a lot of infrastructure set up for something like this.
Oh yeah.
And so this was planned a long time ago with the hopes that Fallout 76 is going to be a stellar hit, that all the changes they were making throughout the year were going to pay off, and you were going to get a big return on players. But guess what hasn't happened? Any of that.
It is just crazy that you have a game that failed so spectacularly, but you still have a small dedicated player base. And instead of putting updates out that give them more content or even basic functionality, you said, how can we get more money out of these people? These loyal few people.
The loyal few whales that are left on this.
It's fucking crazy.
It is so bizarre.
I was talking to a friend of mine today about it because he's actually still playing. And I
know a couple folks who are.
Yeah. And like we all know, like, but it's funny. We can count I'm pretty sure we can count the number of people who play Fallout 76 in one hand. At least for each of us, for our friends, whatever. Not like the total number. Anyway, I sent him the link to the announcement, and like he wasn't necessarily opposed to it. At best, he's like, "I'll try it for a couple months and see what happens." So I guess the interest is there, but I feel like they had to throw in more than just a private server option to kind of keep you in it. Yeah, so I mean, they're not the first kind of game to do private servers. I know, like, I'm part of a casual like Arma group, that had its own server, and like that stuff that's not free. You got to pay for that server. So
here's what you get.
Yeah,
you get the private world, so you can play with you and your friends. You get unlimited storage for crafting components in your own new Scrapbox container. You get a new placeable fast travel point with stash, sleeping bag, and more for your basic needs. You receive 1,650 atoms per month to use in the atomic shop. That's the real money currency.
Okay, I was like, what is that?
I don't even.
You get an iconic Fallout outfit exclusively for members. It's the Ranger armor outfit. And you get unique icons and emotes available only to members. That's it. That's what you get.
Sick. Those free icons are going to look great with the nobody on your server to see it. And all your other friends that are still playing with you that probably also still have those.
Hey, you know what's super cool? If you and all your friends, all 4 of you who are playing Fallout 76, all get this subscription, you all get the same cool, unique outfit.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden the total like individuality is not even there. Oh my God. This would potentially be really interesting if you got like mounts, if you got a bunch of if you could get second, third, get a bunch of buildings and shit, or if you could put mods in on your private server. If they said, for this money, spend that $100 a year, you can mod up your server and do whatever the fuck you want, or you will give you a little bit of opportunity to do a lot of weird things with your server because you're paying for it. At that point, then it's kind of interesting, but there is nothing in this.
It's just, yeah. I think you're right in that, like, they were hoping to get this out. Like, they published this with the hope of, like, it's going to pick up. It's going to get better. And it just hasn't.
One of my biggest pet peeves in video games as a whole is when consumer-facing news uses phrases meant for like corporate interests.
Mm-hmm.
Like shareholders.
Yeah, totally, exactly. If you read through the press release from Bethesda, this is directly from their own page on Bethesda.net. Under the section where it talks about the 1,650 monthly atoms, it reads, with a Fallout First membership, you'll also receive a monthly bonus of 1,650 atoms to use in the Atomic Shop on anything you want. Stock up on your favorite Atomic Shop items with the best value for an atom bundle to date. Every time I see that phrase, best value pop up, I'm just like,
this really could
monsters.
be something that. So here's my prediction. Here's my initial analysis of hearing this news and the way we're talking about it. This was something that internally was like a milestone, something that was planned for a long time, but maybe wasn't. It feels like it really comes in from like the money-making side of Bethesda and not necessarily like the developer side. Like maybe the devs certainly haven't like tested this with people, because devs will sometimes in interviews they'll say, we hear you guys want to play more together, we're working on concept, but they haven't said anything like that to this effect. They haven't warmed anyone up to this idea. They literally just dropped this news on there. Again,
let me run this section by you guys.
It feels really corporate and not like developer side that's doing it.
Let me run this section by you, and you guys tell me what you think this means. You'll know when you hear it. Drop the new survival tent to quickly set up a forward operating base when you're roughing it out in the wilderness during your next adventure. The survival tent comes complete with a stash, sleeping bag, scrap box, cooking station, and even an instrument to help you wind down after a day of exploring Appalachia. Is that a dildo? Are they saying you get a dildo for?
It's a wind-up instrument that winds you down.
There you go.
Oh Lord,
batteries not included.
Batteries not included. Yeah, this is like total. It really feels like it was the marketing and money-making side, and somebody over there saying, "All right, we have to squeeze out some money on and recoup our losses in this game." Because
here's the best part.
It's not making any money.
Here's the best part. At the end of that, in brackets, it says the survival tent and the scrap box can be used in both public and private worlds by Fallout First members. So that suggests that there are things that you can only use as a subscription holder in private worlds, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does. Yep.
Christ.
A debacle.
Anyway. Fallout 76, you guys.
Fallout 76, everyone. I have one little bit of news. This is the Google Stadia news that broke earlier.
I was gonna say, oh
is
boy.
this is
So-
this the $130 version?
Yeah, this is the so Google Stadia is launching November 19th. And if you were one of the crazy fans that on the day it was announced, during that live stream back in August or whatever it was, you threw that $130 down and you're ready to go, you may not get that for a while after November 19th.
First come, first serve.
Founders Edition is first come, first served. Which is basically them saying, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. How... Yeah. What a debacle Google Stadia already is and hasn't even launched yet.
So here's the craziest part about that. People who are reporting on that today have gone into the terms of service and stuff like that, and checked, and apparently in the fine print that is there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I don't remember anybody ever reporting on that up to this point, and it makes me wonder
because it doesn't normally happen.
Oh boy.
Well, it's just like you would think there's somebody out there who would read through that to try and find like a story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes me wonder. Like, I wonder if anybody has a copy of like the terms of service from August. Like, I wonder if they added that in.
Ooh.
And maybe they didn't. Maybe it's been there since the beginning. Like, I'm not putting out like a conspiracy theory. I'm just very curious because it seems funny that somebody would check, today and it's there, but nobody saw it before now.
Mm-mm.
I think with all the
Good
stuff
job,
happening,
dude.
then they start to look at it and see, right? Maybe.
Yeah, totally.
It's still so weird.
Bizarre. We are in Bizarro world with Google Stadia. And wasn't Project X Cloud supposed to launch this year? Like, they talked it up the last couple E3s, like, it's coming. It's coming.
So that one-
2019.
that one's-
They have a
Now
beta
it's like,
going.
That one's weird because they apparently have a beta going, and apparently it's incredibly good.
Yeah, I've heard that from a couple folks, but there's no launch date for this thing.
No, that'll come out with the Xbox 720.
Yeah.
Xbox
still-
2.
Is
the
that
next
still the-
box
yeah.
722.
I want to see a pool going of like what the next name for that will be because
Well,
they really dug themselves
did-
on the
did-
hole there.
Did you guys see the graph that somebody posted on Twitter for that?
No.
They charted on, I think it's like a logarithmic scale, the names of the Xboxes. And according to the scale, if it follows a curve, like if it follows the proper curve, the next Xbox should be like the Xbox negative 111 and 12 or something like that. Which I thought
awesome.
was very
That's
funny.
fantastic. I like that. Yeah, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One X. Which
Well, it's
is
Xbox
10,
One.
yeah, right?
It's Xbox One, technically. The
Yeah.
Xbox. Then is 360.
It's a
then
bizarre
it's one.
bell curve. Yeah.
Yeah, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X. No idea.
Xbox
This is why I like-
362.
So they got that naming issue down pat.
Yeah.
PlayStation, PlayStation 2, 3, 4.
And I always love the play. It's like, we're going to announce it. We're going to call it PlayStation 5. It's like, guess what? We know your next 4 consoles, by the way, too.
Speaking, I guess
Shock
since we're in the
Pikachu
news,
face.
I guess since we're in the news, there was a photo leaked of the PlayStation 5 dev kits. It looks like a giant Roman numeral V.
Is that really like? I keep seeing that, and I like. Part of me said like I've seen it as concept art, and
So there was the concept art one. Apparently,
Yeah.
there was a photograph that actually leaked, like an actual like taken on a cell phone photograph of one of them sitting there.
Yeesh.
And there's no indication that that's what the actual console will look like.
Yeah.
It's just the
won't.
dev
It
kit.
won't.
But it would be so cool if the actual console looked like that. Just a big V, like a big Roman numeral 5.
Well, it's funny because like we've gone, like we've always had that thing with the original PlayStation. You had the regular rectangle with the circle for the disc tray. PS2, you had the rectangle. PS3, you had that curve. You still had like the square outline, but it had the curve on top. PS4, you have the rhombus. So it's crazy that they find a way to kind of still keep that rectangle look, but then change it in some weird way. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do something fun with it.
Yeah.
Although the DualShock stuff seems to the DualShock innovations seem to be exciting, but we'll see how they actually play out. Looking at you, 6-axis,
I'm
and
staring
how
at
I've
that
used you
quote-unquote,
forever.
that dev kit right now. The picture that leaked.
Yeah. It's like
Doesn't
a
it
weird
look,
air
doesn't it
conditioning
look
unit.
like something you'd love to have like on a coffee table? There's like a
Conversation
conversation
piece.
piece.
A
Yeah.
modern design system.
What if you had a house that was shaped like that and you just had that in the very center of your house?
If we're gonna add all these fun new features to the next PlayStation controller, can we please have offset sticks, or at least the option to have
Yes,
it?
thank
Man,
you.
do I hate those.
Yeah, seriously. Anything, man. Anything. Any. Like the DualShock is great in itself, but yeah, there are always some little changes you can do to make that better.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, that's it for the news, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
everything.
sorry. One thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw it today, just in passing. Dying Light, of all things, apparently is teasing a collaboration with Left 4 Dead 2.
Ooh, interesting.
Like, I don't like. They just put a picture out, of like a bunch of the 3 survivors like about to hit their melee weapons against a horde of zombies coming in.
Ooh.
I don't know how that'll work. I haven't played Dying Light in a hot minute,
Yeah,
meaning
neither
like
have I.
a year and a half, 2 years maybe. But that'd be kind of cool. I want to see how that works out. I know they're currently making Dying Light 2,
Yeah.
but this will be for Dying Light 1, and then some sort of Left 4 Dead 2 collaboration with that. So we'll see.
there was actually one more piece of news.
Oh, what's that?
Coming off of something we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago, Mikey Barra, formerly of Microsoft, left Microsoft in very good graces with a very prestigious career behind him. Announced, call it an hour and a half ago, that he's joining Blizzard as the executive vice president.
Wow.
Perfect timing.
Mike.
Yep. He's starting on November 4th. He'll be there for BlizzCon.
Best of luck, Mike. That's
good luck.
Countdown
quite
to
the
BlizzCon. Who's excited?
yeah.
God.
What's funny is like I've been watching a lot of like YouTube videos on the train to work over the past couple of weeks. And I always run into like those ads, and recently because they know my profile and all that now, it was initially a bunch of ads for Link's Awakening, but then with Overwatch coming to PC, they've been having me those ads, and I've always been looking closely just to see if they include May in any of the gameplay footage, and don't.
They pulled her statue out of their store.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't include her in any of the ads for the game on Switch.
Did you guys see the video that was going around the internet today of the NBA thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's
pretty
smart.
fucking funny. Did you see that
The
yet, Dallin?
cameraman
No,
freaking
what's
out
this?
like,
What is this?
It was like one of those cameras, like Kiss cam or dance cam or like reaction cam or whatever. There was a kid who got like the attention on him, and the camera zoomed in on him, and he flipped his fucking shirt around, and it said like "Free Hong Kong" or whatever. And the camera had to juke away from him really quick, but it was there long enough to see the full shirt.
so good.
I'm still
good.
gonna check this out now.
Yeah, it's really it's great because like you see it happen, and then the cameraman just has a momentary figure like, I don't know where to point, so let's just go to like a random spot in the stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
they're showing up dressed as Winnie the Pooh, which is fantastic. By the people.
Yeah. I don't. Part of me doesn't want to buy this. I don't want to buy this virtual ticket. I just want to just read Twitter in the day of and just see.
Oh, here we go.
Just-
Hold on, I'm watching this now.
Anything that happens is
He's a
going up
young
on
kid
Twitter.
too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's a little kid. Yeah, but he has whole it's an actual whole shirt.
Oh, that's fantastic! It says "Fight for Free." Oh my god, the camera is all over the place. That's
The camera freaks
brilliant.
out.
It's
It's
like, and then you think he points at the wall for a second or something like that.
Yeah.
It's during the Clippers-Lakers game. Okay, so it cuts to this kid.
Yeah.
It's on Twitter. He's got this red Clipper shirt. It's like, oh, underneath it's actually "Fight for Freedom, Stand with Hong Kong." That's awesome. The camera's just jerking all over the place.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's fantastic. That's awesome.
when is it really in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
We're gonna find out Diablo
BlizzCon is
4
November
and Overwatch
November
2.
7th.
Those are the big
November.
rumors, right?
November 1st can't come soon enough.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Let's pack it
BlizzCon.
up.
Yeah, November 1st.
Yeah.
Let's pack this baby up. We've been
Yeah, we're done.
podcasting for
That was all the
an
news.
hour
That was
and
every
40
piece of
minutes.
news.
Well, Rexley, where can we find
Yeah.
you, my good man?
You can find me on Twitter at Airdew. That's HEIRDEUX. I think that's it for now.
Sam, we ain't finding you anywhere because you're Princess Peach. We can find you sweating it up as on Ring Fit Adventure.
Yeah, find me in Gambit and lose.
There you go.
Lose.
Exactly.
Oh.
Aaron, Twitch affiliate Aaron Kelly, where
You can find me playing WWE 2K20.
Oh God, I'm loving those videos. They're phenomenal.
So we can find you doing acid is really what that is.
That's a good game for good people.
Find me freaking out outside the ring.
You can find me doing donuts inside the ring while laying on my back.
Eating ass, apparently, because that was one of them too. You can find me at Dolly Demovsky, not doing any of those things. You can find us at SideQuesting, sidequesting.com. I don't even know if anybody even makes it this part of the podcast because they don't care.
We should offer something.
You know where to find us. Just hey, leave us a message. You know what we should do? Let me be able to do a contest next week.
Tell me how pretty you think I am.
Next week we're gonna record on the day before, on Thanksgiving Eve, All Hallows Eve.
Sally, please. American Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Did I say Thanksgiving? I meant Halloween. Holy shit. Wow.
I was going to say Thanksgiving's not
We're recording on Halloween.
Canadian Thanksgiving already happened, and I think we recorded a show that day.
We did?
Oh.
No, that was on a Monday, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. No, we recorded.
I remember the food. I don't remember the day.
And that's it. We'll see everybody on the next Side Quest. Thank you, everyone. Great show. We love you. And bye-bye.